Hey, what is up? Welcome to Dharma Time here on WPSN99.com on the Problem Solving Network, where we stream solutions. I am the Dharma Guy, your host, with the Dope Doctor here, and we're hanging out, man.
That's right. Hanging out
today.
Yeah, beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. It's nice and overcast and cloudy, which I prefer, and I think you do as well.
Yeah, you loved it so much you just hung out outside the studio for about an hour.
Oh man. So I made a bonehead move here, everybody. I have a
bonehead.
I have a big truck, right? I have a Tundra, and that thing is thirsty, man. It is so thirsty, and gas prices here are ridiculous. And so I decided to be slick, and I borrowed a car, my mother's car, as a matter of fact. She's got a RAV4, and that thing is like amazing on gas. And so I decided to take that out here because it's an hour away from me. And I get here, and as usual, I beat you to the studio.
Yeah.
I'm an hour away. You're only like 20 minutes away, and I still beat you.
That's not as usual. That's just only the last 2 weeks or so.
I come rolling up, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. I don't have my studio key because it's in my truck. So I had to sit outside in the heat and the humidity here in wonderful New Smyrna Beach until the Dope Doctor decided to show up. And, of course, he shows up with like 15 minutes to go before we go on air. So good times, man, good times. But that's all right. But I got to say, though, I like the fact that it's overcast, though. It could have been worse. It could have been like 100 degrees and humidity at 100 and sun beaming down on me, but it was not. So how was your weekend, man, before we get started?
Oh, man, I had a great weekend. We had Recovery Walk this weekend, so it was fantastic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It was a great Recovery Walk, man. We had a lot of good people show up, a lot of good announcers. We had Mrs. America there, the reigning one, the old one. We had...
well, not the old one, the past one.
The past one.
You can't say the word old
when
you talk females.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, not because of Me Too. Me Too, that's different.
It's all Me Too, man.
Okay.
It's gone crazy. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but...
You think?
It has. I think we can do another show on that, by the way.
Jeez.
I do. I know we've done a couple, but I have a different take on things that kind of really upset me. If I'm honest with you, I got pretty upset about the Me Too stuff over the weekend. But yeah, who knows? Maybe next week's show will be about that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment because it'll derail us.
It will. Having said that, this week's show,
it does fit.
It does fit. 2 weeks in a row, as a matter of fact, we were like the day was saved by Mr. Julian Black on Up Live. Right. For those of you who don't know, we have an Up Live like pre-show where we play music and stuff. As a matter of fact, today was like a Nas day. Like, we were going Nas'd out. Like, it was crazy.
I love it.
But so we stream on Up Live prior to the show, and there's a gentleman on there named Julian Black who follows us. And 2 weeks in a row, he's like saved the day and gives a topic.
Yep.
Because for those people who don't know us, we don't plan our shows like months or weeks in advance. We plan our shows about 10 minutes in advance.
Right.
But hey, it seems to work, hopefully.
Right.
So today's show, actually, believe it or not, is lying.
Right.
And it all started because Mr. Julian Black asked me, I was asking for show topics, and he said, is it ever okay to lie?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good show. I think we're going to talk about that today.
Right on.
So having said that, let's start in with lying. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Why not?
Yeah.
Is it okay to lie? Well, I think that's a complicated question, right? Because I think we first have to define lies.
You have to.
Right?
Because everybody has a different definition of that.
Well, and I think I think those what I think is interesting with the lying thing is I think the definition of what a lie is changes based upon who you're telling it to.
Yeah.
Like I think that a lie to my wife is much different than a lie to you or a lie to like a person on the street corner, right? Like,
right.
But there's first of all, I want to say the two different. Let's get the definitions out there, right?
Okay.
Like let's make sure we agree on a definition.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
There's two main lies that I can think of.
Okay.
One that is pretty common sense, I believe. And the other one, though, I think gets lost a lot, and it bothers me. So let's put the obvious one out there. I think the obvious lie that people hear is just something other than the truth, right? Something other than facts.
Okay. Because
truth, I think, truth is a perspective, right? Truth is 360.
Mm-hmm.
So just because my truth is different than your truth doesn't necessarily mean that I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, we both watch football,
right? And
something could happen, and you could call it a fumble, I could call it not. Doesn't mean we're lying. That's what we saw, right? So I don't mean perspective. So I mean factual. Okay. Right. So if you're saying something other than fact, I would call that a lie.
He didn't fumble, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great game, by the way. That kid Patrick Mahomes is the truth.
He really is.
Wow. Anyways, so squirrel. So we agree on that. Something other than fact.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's the common sense one. I think when most people think of lie, that's what they think of. And I think that's a universally accepted definition of lie.
Right.
However, there's another big one that I think people kind of forget sometimes, or they look over.
I bet you I know what it is.
Omission.
Omission. Oh, you should have just like I said.
Yes.
I
We
even
said it at the
said,
same
let me
time.
say it.
We said it at the same time.
Okay,
That was better.
all
It was like
right.
unison.
Okay.
It was like we were like the Temptations.
Yeah, but I was
man.
like a half second behind, and it just it's not the same. It's
but
not
omission.
synchronous.
Synchronicity?
Yeah, I wanted to be like an Olympian, not like you're gonna go watch your kids do it.
Well, can't we can't we just edit that later and like sync it together better or something?
Yeah, I'm not that good at it.
We need Julian Black to come be our producer, man, and do that. Like we need you to do that. Anyways, so omission. I think that's a big one.
That's
dude.
the biggest lie.
I think that like, yeah, man. I think people don't get that. I think it's like, well, I didn't lie, man. You knew exactly what I was asking. You left out the details because you didn't want to get in trouble. Whatever. Like, that's my biggest problem with that. I think is people will do it, and they come up with these weird like justifications for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And justifications that would never work on them.
No.
You know, it works for them doing it to you because it's like, oh, hey, you didn't really ask me that.
No.
But if it's something important and they asked you and you left it out, they'd be like, why didn't you tell me that? Like, oh, really? You know, it's different when the shoe's on the other foot, right?
Yeah. People deny that they edit.
Yeah.
Editing is part of your brain process.
Like, there was a situation. Oh man, I'm gonna pay for this one. I think I'm gonna out her a little bit.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. She
awesome.
doesn't really ever watch the shows, but
Beautiful. Well, she will if I send it to her.
yeah. Well, my wife and I had a situation early on, right? Like way early on in our relationship.
Right. And it's no longer September, by the way, so it's not a birthday month anymore.
Exactly.
So you can do it.
You just can completely go off.
Yeah.
It's just a little thing, right? But it's an example.
Okay.
We had a situation where this was a long time ago. We were still kind of getting to know each other and feeling each other out, and as with most couples, we've discussed finances at length, and there was a situation where she purchased something, purchased like a group of things, and she told me she bought this one thing.
Okay.
But I looked on the bed. There was like 7 things on the bed. And I got irritated because I said, you lied to me. She's like, I didn't lie. I told you I bought that one thing. I was like, yeah, but you bought 6 other things to go with it. And she didn't see that. She didn't understand why I was upset about that. She didn't realize that I felt that was a lie. Because I asked her how many things you got or what'd you get. She's like, oh, I got this one thing. But there were 6 other things with it. And what upset me was like, you know what you were doing. Yeah. You knew I was going to get irritated because there were 7 things instead of 1. So you conveniently left that out. Like you didn't verbally lie to me, but by leaving it out, you knew what you were doing because you were trying to evade a difficult conversations by leaving it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's just as bad. Like, I don't care. The fact that you bought stuff, it is what it is, man. We could, whatever, man. There's bigger problems in the world.
Right.
But I don't want to get off on that foot. Like, let's not start lying to each other. Like, let's not go that route.
Right.
I'd much rather have the argument or the conversation and get it out in the open and get it over with than lie about it.
Oh, for sure.
Because when you lie about it, then I start distrusting everything, and I don't like that.
Yeah, then I feel like I have to ask more questions.
Exactly.
And I don't want to ask more questions.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be quick and simple.
I don't even want to ask questions. No, seriously.
Sure.
I mean, I just like stuff to just be.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel interrogated sometimes.
Right.
And so, because I don't like being asked like 50 questions, like that I can tell it's an interrogation.
Right.
Like if I say, like for instance, here's a typical omission that probably a lot of people go through.
Okay.
Like, so where did you go?
I went out with my friends.
Who?
Louis.
Louis? Is he the only one that was there?
Well, no, I mean, he had some other friends, I think. But, I mean, I don't remember all. They were his friends, not mine.
So who were they?
I don't know. I know what you're asking, though.
There it is. So
you're asking me if there's any other girls there.
That's exactly. So it's that kind of like, I think everyone does those kinds of omissions.
Yeah.
Whether intently or accidentally, you're focused on what you're focused on, which is your intent.
Right.
See, I have good intentions, so I don't worry about stuff.
Right.
But I also know, my surroundings at the moment.
Right.
Whether I want to get involved in a 5 or 10 or 15, 20-minute conversation, or change the mood of the day based on the answers.
Well, see, so let's run with that right there, right? I want to know, I think the question that was posed.
The original question
was, is it okay to lie in a relationship?
Right.
So I guess my question would be then, and I think what a lot of people want to know, is does it change? Like, is it okay, that kind of a little white lie?
Yeah.
Like lying by omission, let's say.
Right.
Is it always bad? Is it always okay? Or does it change who you're lying to? Like, for instance, if it's a friend or if it's just like a coworker or if it's like a relationship. right? So if in a relationship, and that scenario you just gave me, like I know, I'm sure a lot of people have had that discussion, and it's very obvious on one side what you were getting at,
right?
And so if I thought that, putting myself in somebody else's shoes, if I'm thinking that we're about to have a fight, like if I know that you're insecure about things,
right,
and I know that there was, my buddy brought like a couple girls with him,
right.
I know that if I say that, it's going to start this huge drama, this big argument.
Correct.
It's going to get bad. And if I want to avoid that, I would be tempted to be like, I would just say he just brought some fellas and just leave it at that.
Right.
Now, is that right or is that wrong?
Are you asking me?
Well, I think it's more of a rhetorical thing. That's what we're talking about today. I think we both have opinions, and I think you and I probably share the same opinion, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But I think that opinion that gets out there a lot is, I think most people, especially in new relationships or non-married relationships, even like newer ones, I think their answer is yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
they omit it.
They omit it because they don't want to deal with the trouble.
Right.
Whereas I think you and I probably are a little bit older dogs, cut straight to it and just tell them the truth because it's going to come out eventually.
I answer whatever I think the intent is.
Yeah.
Not directly the question. I think people who answer exactly what the question is, that's what you do.
You're evading.
That's what you do with a judge. That's what your attorney tells you to
do. yeah. Just give the barest necessities possible and get out of here.
You say, where were you? I say,
out.
1500 Lambda Street. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. You should, I think, if you really want a healthy long-term relationship, you have to go right to where the feels are.
Yeah. Well, because first of all, it's just respectful, right?
Yeah.
And if they know that every time you come home and you get it all out there, they start to trust you over time.
Right.
Because if they have to start fishing and finding, then they're going to not trust you. Then they're wondering why you were hiding it. Yeah. Second thing, it's going to come out.
Can I say something on that?
Go ahead.
First of all, though, your first thing?
Yeah.
First of all, if they always find things when they're searching, they search more.
Yeah.
So like it's like a cop and a bad guy, right? So like if they know, 9 times out of 10, if in this scenario I violate the law just a little bit to find the evidence, then I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to take my chances over and over again because that's how I'm going to find the evidence. Whereas, so that validates their behavior.
Yeah.
So if 9 times out of 10 they find the drugs on the dope man because the dope man happens to look or sound like this, then they're going to keep doing it.
Sure.
And that's what we ignore in that scenario with law enforcement.
Right.
So that's also what we ignore in relationships. The reason you're getting asked 50 million questions or they keep searching your stuff, like your phone and all that stuff, is because every time they do it, they find something.
Exactly. No, I agree.
Dana never checks my phone. You know why? Because she's not finding anything.
Yeah. Well,
so you built that up already.
Yeah, and then the other half of that is you and I you've been married a lot longer than I have, but we've been married long enough, and we're wise enough to know, and I'm going to say this right to the camera, the truth will always come out.
Always.
Always. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow, but it will come out. And it'll come out at the worst possible moment.
Yeah, like on my deathbed, like when I need her to change my diaper.
Yeah.
I don't want her finding out then. She goes to the phone and he goes, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to sit there in your crap now.
Exactly.
You're like, oh.
Well, like the example would be in that scenario. Like what happened, especially in today's world with social media or whatever. Yeah. You tell your girl or your man or whatever, like no, there was nobody there. We're just hanging out. Right. Then all of a sudden they post on social media later, and there you are in the background. There's like 8 chicks around. I'm like, oh really? I thought you said there was nobody there.
Yeah.
Now, even though nothing happened and all you were trying to do was avoid a fight, the new fight is going to be way worse than that original fight would have been.
I've done it. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah, man.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I've never done that thing.
I did
I've
early
always
on.
Just
I didn't
straight up said it.
But
I also got married at 30-some years old.
I thought I straight up said it. I really did.
Right.
Because my dad would always just look at me and say, why the hell did you just say that? Because I would tell everything. Right. So then I tried it his way for like a year or two. Now, my dad's way just does not work for me.
He's the Michael Jordan of that, and you're not.
Correct. I'm not so sure he's the Michael Jordan of it. I just think he is.
Right.
He thinks he is.
Right.
Because that didn't work for my style, and that didn't work for my relationship. To me, it works better when you just give it all up.
Right.
That's it. No resentments, no regrets, nothing. I
Honesty
regret nothing.
is the best policy, man.
I regret nothing and resent nothing because I'm doing nothing.
I agree. But now, same scenario. See, I have different feelings on this, actually.
Okay.
A different scenario, you go like a coworker or even a friend or something, I'm okay with that in certain instances.
What do you mean?
Like that same scenario, like
going out with a female, you mean?
No. Like if I was if it was like a coworker who asked me a question and I kind of evaded it slightly, or if it was like an acquaintance or something like that, like I don't have the same loyalty to them as I do my wife.
That doesn't matter then.
Yeah,
I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't really. It doesn't bother me. So, little white lies when it comes to the coworkers or friends, I'm not as concerned with. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody, like if it's a little white lie to me by definition is something stupid like, I don't know, you're walking by the guys ringing the bells asking for $1, and you're like, oh, I gave it the office.
Right.
I don't think that's really going to hurt anybody. I don't think that's, devastating for people.
Well, there's a different sense of responsibility to an acquaintance, friendship,
yeah.
or coworker.
Yeah, I'm not going to, the dude ringing the bell that I lied to and said I gave $1 at the office is not going to, like, call me crying and bawling and ruin our relationship.
Right.
There's no, he expects to be lied to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to have to chase, I'm not going to, serve the person to see my kids either.
Exactly. But I agree with you. I think we all lie. This idea, just like we did a show on judgment a couple weeks back,
right?
Where everybody's like, I don't judge. Yeah, you do. Everybody judges.
Of course.
Well, this whole idea that I don't lie. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's just different ways. It might not be, hey, I stole $1,000 from the bank account yesterday, and I'm not going to tell anybody about it. It might not be something major.
Man, I'll give you an example of how many people lie, where they lie all the time.
Does this dress make me look
fat? Babies. Oh, there's some ugly damn babies.
You went straight there.
I went straight there. There's some damn ugly babies.
There's some ugly babies.
And people go, "Oh, how cute!" You lie.
Yes.
Oh, that's lie. That's an ugly baby. I don't think anyone ever looks at somebody and says, "Damn, that's an ugly baby." You better lie in that scenario.
Yeah, you have to lie. Like,
you know what you're saying is cute. It's cute that it's tiny. It's cute like a puppy.
Dude, I would pay money though to see that interaction between two people. Look at my you got an ugly baby.
That's an ugly ass baby.
I would pay to see that interaction because it's not going to go well.
No. Ask my oldest daughter Dahlia how I've ever described her baby pictures and her as a baby.
Oh God.
I've always told her she was an ugly baby.
That's different. That's yours, right? Your own brain is a little bit different.
No, but my wife still didn't like when I used to say when she was little.
Of course not.
I said she has a cone head. And she goes, no, she does not.
Dan
Stop it.
I
said, no, she has a little cone head. Seriously, that baby came out like cone head. I'm serious. Because Dana kept pushing in and out. That baby went in and out so many times because Dana just didn't do that one push. Then my baby came out with a head about 6 inches high or 10 inches high.
That's awesome.
So every time people would go, "Oh, how cute!" I'm like, "You're lying to me."
That's
I would even
funny.
tell them. I said, "You're such a liar," and they would feel like weird about it. No, she's cute. I said, "No, she's not."
Oh my God, that would feel weird with me. I think.
Yeah, I know.
To have somebody tell me.
So
that
you should have seen those interactions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd still like to see the interaction where a random person. Now you got an ugly baby.
Right.
That's fighting words right there. I think.
Yeah, or on someone's anniversary on Facebook, you know how everybody puts "Congrats, happy anniversary." Someone put "You're still with that loser."
Well, yeah, that would be funny. As long as I'm not involved in it, that would suck.
I mean, yeah, and the fat, and the do I look fat?
Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah,
because my honesty gets me in a lot of stupid trouble over those stupid questions. Do not ask me how you look if you already know something is looking a little astray.
Oh, dude, I got in trouble like it was like a couple weeks back, and I was trying to be nice. Like I thought it was a good compliment. But my wife
it's because they can read.
My wife did not agree with me.
No, because they can read inside you.
Oh no, but I see. My wife.
What'd you do?
My wife, like all women.
Okay.
I would assume all women. I haven't met all women, obviously, but she's got this thing about aging, right?
Yeah.
And she's the whole aging process is just kind of a faux pas for them.
Yeah.
And so I told her the other day, I was like, I said, you look good, you look different. Like, aging works for you.
Right.
Like, I thought that was a good thing. All she heard was you're aging. And I was like, no, but it's like a good thing.
So you were doing a compliment.
I thought it was a compliment, yes.
Yeah.
But she did not share my philosophy that was a compliment.
Yeah.
So
see, on my end, if I don't look hungry, then she knows the outfit's not good enough.
Okay.
Or if I don't love every meal she makes, it's like you make it your damn self almost. It's like
yeah.
So if I want to keep eating, I gotta love bad food.
Wow.
No, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you that was not good because I don't want it a second time.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yeah, there's been a few meals I'm like, it's okay.
Honesty has its price, kids.
It does have its price.
It has its price.
I'd much rather have that price. I'd much rather have that price where we're all honest than the lying price.
No, I'll go to McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh man. But no, I think when it comes to is it okay to lie? I do believe though that the situation kind of depends on a lot of different factors, man. I think who is it? Who is it? What kind of lie is it? What's your intent?
And can you live with it if it comes out?
Exactly.
That's the bottom line. Can you live with it if it comes out?
Yeah. But I also think the intent matters. I really do.
Well, all that matters.
Is my intent? Am I trying to deceive you, or am I trying to save your feelings? Like what is my intent? Am I trying to save myself? If I'm trying to save myself to getting out of trouble, I don't like that lie. If I'm trying to,
what? Wait a minute. Here, let me reel that back to you as a teenager. Are you serious right now?
Believe it or not, bro, I didn't really lie when I was a kid.
Wait a minute. You went in? Have you ever been up in front of a judge or something like that, or a principal?
Principals, yes.
You didn't lie?
No, and I got in a lot of trouble for it.
Oh no, I lied.
I didn't lie, but I also didn't show remorse.
Oh, I lied.
Here's a situation like I was in a side story here.
Okay.
No lying involved, but to address what you just said.
Yeah.
I was in middle school, and a buddy of mine, Jason, had this big buck knife.
Okay.
And he was called into the office, and he was getting in trouble for it.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to have a knife in school.
Definitely not allowed to have a knife in school.
Correct.
Especially now in 2018.
Yeah, but this was a lot longer than that. Yeah. Pulled him in the office. He's getting in trouble for that. And this little boy narks on me. Tells him, well, True's got a knife.
Wow.
Oh, this is ridiculous, though. I don't know if you remember this, back in the the 80s and early 90s.
The little itty-bitty ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a little tiny Swiss Army knife that goes on your keychain.
Yep.
You literally couldn't stab a milk carton with this thing.
But they were so cool.
Yeah. I had a little tiny Swiss Army knife, and they called me in the office for that. And they said, well, we need to check your pockets. We're told you have a knife. I was like, are you serious? So I pulled it out. I was like, yeah, I got this. And so they set me down. I'm getting in trouble now. And I'm sitting next to him, and he's over here crying and bawling. Like, I'm so sorry, whatever. And they're looking at me. I'm like, I was defying him. I was like, are you serious? Like, I could file my nails with this thing.
Yep.
I was like irritated that this was even an issue. He gets in school suspension, and I get 2 or 3 days out of school.
Expelled?
Yeah, when I didn't get expelled,
You got suspended.
I got outside suspension.
You got suspended, yeah.
Because I didn't show remorse.
Yeah.
I was like, why would I be remorseful? But the joke was on them, though. The joke was on them because it was the last 3 days of school.
No.
And Mr. Neff was the principal, and he was saying that he was going to suspend me the last 3 days because he wanted me to have to come back on my summertime to take my exams.
Ooh.
That's why he was doing it.
But you had already done your exams.
No, my A was so high in the classes when I went to the teachers, they're like, don't worry about it. Even if you got a 0 in the exam, you still have an A in the class.
Beautiful.
Don't worry about it. So I got 3 days extra.
That's awesome.
So screw you, Mr. Neff.
Yeah, screw Neff.
But I was honest. I didn't lie and show remorse because he wasn't remorseful. I knew the kid.
Right.
He didn't care. But he turned on the crocodile tears, and he got in that sense, he won. Well, in his eyes, I won, I think, because I got 3 extra days of vacation. But no, so I didn't really lie that much.
I did. I lied all the time.
I was cocky, though.
I lied all the time.
I
was cocky and lied.
I lied because I knew I could get out of it somehow, some way.
I lied all the time.
But,
There's no way, man. I would deny with that stuff in my. They had me on video smoking a joint in the smoking area in high school.
It wasn't me.
And said, and I still said no.
It wasn't me.
Nope.
But no, I just think that, like, as far as addressing those types of lies, now that we're all adults and things of that nature, if you were lying, if your only intent in lying is to get away with something that you shouldn't have done, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that. I'm gonna have a problem with that when we address it. If you're lying to save somebody's feelings, that's a gray area for me.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, I think that I understand the concept that you're trying to save their feelings, but on the other hand, how do you know that's going to save their feelings? Like you could be enabling at that time. Like if I got a big piece of like broccoli in my teeth,
right,
and I'm like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Don't not tell me because you're going to say you don't want to embarrass me. Tell me because I don't want to walk around the whole world seeing this big huge.
Those are the ones I hate. I hate those lies.
Yeah, like
those omissions.
Yeah,
I think are bad.
I agree. It's like you don't respect me enough to tell me, but you might think that you're avoiding an uncomfortable situation for you.
Yeah,
but about me, I'm walking around with this, thing hanging out of my face all day long.
Yeah, you should always tell somebody if there's something really bad about. If you care about them. Now, if you stink or something's on you, and I don't care, I may let you go.
I've done that.
But I'm not gonna let Trinity walk around with mustard on his face, a booger in his nose, and stinking.
And I appreciate that.
I'm gonna let you know because it's gonna be like, nah, bro, you got.
Yeah, you need to tighten that up.
Yeah, because you represent us,
right?
I get personal.
Right? But then the other half of that, though, for the other intent. I mean, what are the main intentions, right? The main intentions are typically to get out of something,
right?
To save somebody's feelings,
right?
And what would be another one? Another intent.
Don't want to deal with it.
So, What, just avoidance, I guess?
Yeah, just pure like, I want to keep moving. I want to keep it moving.
That's a tough one, I think.
And this is going to make me pause.
That's a tough one.
Well, sometimes I just don't want to pause.
Whereas I can see situations where I'm okay with it and situations where I'm not. So in that situation, I think it comes down to who it is.
But that's where I mess up. That's where me as a human, I still make errors because based on wherever I'm moving to, whatever. If I'm on the freeway,
that's a blow off. Is what that is.
It's like if I'm on the freeway and I am running right on time.
Right.
I'm gonna get there right on time, and I'm still 30 miles away. And then Dana goes, I need to go to the bathroom. I don't want to get off on the next exit so she can go to the bathroom. I want her to hold it for 30 miles.
Right.
I just do.
Right.
And so in life, it's that kind of thing.
Right.
Like sometimes I just want to keep it moving,
right.
and I don't want to get off on this exit because that's not what I had in my head.
Right. Yeah, I think...
so sometimes I lie by omission or whatever because of that.
Yeah, I think... I'm guilty of that. Matter of fact, that exact scenario. My kids are in the back. I gotta go pee. Oh, we're almost home. Even though I know damn good and well we're a little bit
30
further.
more miles.
Yeah, we're almost home. We'll be there in a minute.
Yeah.
You know.
And with a kid, that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
See, at least with Dana, I know damn well I'm not gonna be like, what the hell just happened over here?
At least you hope not, right?
You hope, because that would, I'll never forget
that. Changes the whole
that
dynamic.
Would change the whole
right
relationship right there.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. In that situation, I think it varies on who it is, man. Like, and what it's about.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I'm so into me and my direction that's all I can see. And I think those are the lies that I think we defend the most.
Right.
At least I do. Those are the lies that I will validate the most by omission or validate the most by being a white lie, because there's a certain direction, and it's almost going to take too much energy to explain why I just did it and what the end goal was.
Right.
So I just keep it moving.
Oh man, I want to have a problem with that, but I don't think I do.
It's because it's the kind that's the most brutally honest to yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Man.
I'm just brutally honest that at some level, I think we all have a level of selfishness based on our path, and sometimes my path is overwhelmingly more important than whatever else might be going on, even if that lie might destroy my path a little bit.
Right.
By lying or like by not pulling over, I might have to argue for 30 miles, and then it just made it bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Well, I've done I'm thinking of a scenario like I've had moments where, okay, here I'm gonna tell myself.
Isn't that what we do?
Yeah, right. So I could be leaving. I could go to the grocery store, right?
Okay.
And I'm going there for something, and my wife knows I'm going there.
Right.
And when I leave the house, she doesn't ask for anything, but inevitably I'll get a text message. Right. Hey, can you grab this while you're there?
I already left.
Yes. There's been times. There's been times where I'm literally like still in there, but I don't feel like dealing with it. So I'm like, yeah, I already left. I'm almost there. I'm in the neighborhood already.
That's funny.
Because my grocery store is literally like right next to my neighborhood, so I could be in line and say I'm in the neighborhood, but I'll still get there in enough time where like it could have been plausible. Because I just didn't want to go back. Like I'm already in line or something. I didn't want to go all the way back and grab something.
Now you better hurry up home.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll be like, oh, I already left. Sorry. I'll get it next time. Or like
I haven't done that one.
Yeah,
I haven't done that.
I've done that. Well, you sure got it pretty damn quick for somebody who's never done it.
No. Because I understand because I felt like it.
Yeah.
I felt, but here's what I know: she ain't leaving, so I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah. Well, see, I figure if it's not important, you know, what I mean, if it's something like I don't know, like a medication or something, yeah, I'll pick that up. Yeah. But if she just wants like a, I don't know, like a popsicle,
it really depends on what it is.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll
really
get that tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
it's not life or death here.
Well, Dana doesn't ask for. See, that's the other thing. Dana doesn't ask for anything other than
food?
It's something. Well, yeah.
And my wife asks for food all the time, dude.
Yeah, food.
Our wives have the same love language: food and sleep.
Yes. Well, here's a good one. Okay, so here's a relationship one. If to answer the listen. And by the way, any listeners out there or viewers that want us to do a show on a specific topic, do what this guy did, because look what it did. Yeah. We're dedicating a whole show to his question. All right.
So find us on social media, reach out, or you can email us at dharmatimeshow@gmail.
Right on. All right. So early on in the relationship, Dana used to ask me for food when I'd be driving home. And she would say, hey, do you want to pick up some food on your way home? And it's a 30-minute drive home. Well, because I'm kind of gordo, which means like cheap like that, you know what I mean? Especially early on. I'd be like, no. You know, I'll be home in 30 minutes. I'm too tired. I don't want to pull over.
Right.
Now, what I'm really saying was, I'm too cheap. You've been home. Why don't you make me something? Why don't you make us some food? That's really what I'm saying. That was, so later on, after she would get disappointed over and over again and then break down and make us something,
right,
I finally had an open, honest discussion. One of those times, where you're like lovey-dovey and you're just like sharing too much.
Right.
I told her the truth. Yeah, because I'm honest like that. And I said, here, Dana, this is what you got to do. You got to lie to me. Or you got to manipulate me a little bit. And how you manipulate me is say, there's nothing here, and I guess you will have to eat blankety blank, or just don't make me anything. That way, when I get home, I now have to get back out of the home and go get some food.
Yeah.
I won't like that.
Yeah.
So don't enable me at all. And when you really want food, don't make me food.
But you know what, though? I think that's a married thing, though, because I think that wives and husbands kind of figure that out over time.
Well, but I gave it to her like too early on, though.
Yeah, so she's learned.
She learned right away.
I know with my wife, even the two of us, we'll say certain things to each other that I know is complete and utter BS, but I know what we're trying to do. Yeah. We're trying to set it up for something we want later on. Like, hey, this, and this. So, in those situations, I don't, because they're innocent, you know what I mean? They don't really hurt, like... those ones I don't really have much of an issue with, man. I really don't.
Right.
But I think that something we have to be careful with, not we specifically, but just in general, is just because we think it's a white lie does not mean that everybody thinks that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the caveat here, right? Is I'm not allowed to tell my wife what is or isn't a big deal.
Right.
Because what's not a big deal to me might very well be a big deal to her.
Right.
Because maybe it triggers something from her. Maybe she's got like an issue with it. I don't know. And so we got to be careful of that. And not only do you, when I say we got to be careful, I mean, prior to doing so, maybe you should think about it differently. And that's one way. But the other way is after it's been done, if they start to get upset about it, you can't argue anymore. Like, because at the end of the day, you lied, dude. Like, whether you think it was a big deal or not, it's a big deal to them, and so you can't argue away the fact that you did it wrong. You got to own up to it. You got to man up or woman up to it, and you lied at the end of the day. Granted, in your mind, it might be no big deal, but it was a big deal to them. So now you got to own it.
Right.
Like if you're gonna do the time, do the crime.
Right.
Or do the crime, do the time. So like for instance, back to my original situation with the omission when she bought more things than she said she did. Like, for her, it was no big deal. She's like, why does it matter? Like, and to me, it was a big deal, but it wasn't what she lied about. It was the fact that she omitted it. Like, I don't want to start off a relationship where we're kind of doing that for one another. Right. So for me, it was a big deal. And I got really mad about it. Like, and she couldn't understand why I was holding such a grudge. And later on, we talked about it. I was like, look, what I, same thing. What I didn't like about it was the fact that I don't want us to ever build a foundation on something where we're not completely honest with each other. Right. And it was a big deal to me. And so she finally, like, begrudgingly, she was like, I get it, She hasn't done it since. Right. And that's, in a relationships, that's how you set up boundaries. You talk and you explain it, and then you move forward. But in that situation, she had to understand that, look, it was a big deal to me. Right. And then there's been other times for me that there's, like, maybe not lies, but there's been other things that I've done that maybe she'll get blown up about or, upset. And I'm like, that's a stupid thing to get upset about. Like, why are you getting so upset about this? But I have to catch myself and say, wait a minute, I can't dictate to her what her pain is. Right. Like for one person, if your threshold of pain, you can get stabbed and you're like, oh, it's just a flesh wound, I'm good. I ain't got time to bleed, Yeah. Towards another person, you get a hangnail and you're ready to, like, call 911. I can't tell that person, even though I find it ludicrous, that might hurt to you. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you what does or doesn't offend you. And so I think when it comes to lies, be it omission or just outright lie, I think we have to understand that you probably shouldn't, right? And if you do, then you have to, like you said, live with it. Right. And if it negatively impacts the person that you're doing it with, you can't then get mad at them for getting mad at you for lying. But what I mean? That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, but you can't. Like, you're the bad one in that situation. Right. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna defend you. No. If my boy calls me up and is like, look, man, I lied to a girl and this happened, I'm like, well, you should have lied. No, or worse, you get mad because someone else told on you or ratted you out. This rat thing, look, I'm not a rat. I'm not a rat. But I don't get mad at rats for one main reason. It was my fault they knew in the first place. Yeah. Whether I committed a crime with you, whether I trusted you, whether I told you, because a lot of people tell your stuff. You told someone a secret, then they told on you, and then you get upset, and I said, well, that was my secret. He wasn't supposed to tell. Yeah, but
Sometimes you tell secrets that aren't your secrets either,
Right.
and you shouldn't have told.
Oh, that's a big one, actually. I'm
You know,
glad you brought that.
yeah, because someone tells a secret.
I'm glad you brought
that
that
they
up.
were told.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because it's in the same lie arena, so we'll go with it.
Right.
I almost say this one to the camera too. Everybody has somebody they tell,
Yep.
and you're not always that somebody.
Right.
You might think you're that somebody.
Right.
And I say this because I have young ones. I have a 14-year-old daughter.
Right.
And I've had to explain this to her before about keeping secrets and things of that nature.
Right.
She, like, I try to explain to her, I was like, look, man, I don't care how much you think you know your friend. Be very careful what you tell them.
Yep.
Because in your mind, you're telling her, but she's got another friend. She's got at least one other person in her life that she tells everything to. And so she's going to go back and tell her, oh, man, such and such did this. And then and then that person has one person that they tell. Next thing you know, the entire school knows.
Right.
Even
if it's not today.
Oh, they will know, though, but yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't get it twisted. I know that's your friend, but you're not the only person in their entire lives. They have other friends.
And some things are just too damn juicy.
Yeah, man.
Pass the ditchy part of the left-hand side.
Yeah. Or they might not understand how much it means to you. Like, to you might be an important secret. To me, it's not, because it's not their secret.
Yeah.
So they might share it to that one friend and be like, hey, I'm not supposed to tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst thing. I'm not supposed to tell you this means it's code for go tell all your friends.
Right.
Right? I'm not supposed to tell you this, but this.
Yeah, it
and
gives them a level of importance.
And what they hear is like, oh, my God, really?
Yeah.
And then they're going to go to their friend, hey, I'm not supposed to tell you this.
Right.
You didn't hear it from me, but oh, my gosh, did you hear such and such? Next thing you know, 50 people know it.
Right.
And so you gotta understand that. Like, when it comes to secrets, man. Like, first of all, don't have any secrets because they will get out.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't have any secrets, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Secondly, if you do have secrets, man, you better be careful who you tell it to.
Right.
And if they tell, I'm not gonna get mad at them. You should have told them.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If it's that important, keep
That's
it
what I
to
say.
yourself.
And if you tell a couple, just assume that the couple
the
knows.
couple's gonna know.
If you tell one in the couple, don't think that the other one in the couple doesn't know.
Oh, the other one knows.
Because now they're not allowed to lie.
No, dude.
They're trying to save their marriage. In other words, try to
Exactly.
keep a certain way of flow of conversation and
Yes.
relationship. Don't tell me something that you don't want Dana to know.
Exactly.
Just don't. Please, just don't do it.
Because it's gonna happen.
Because it's going to happen, and because that's our relationship.
Well, and don't get me. I don't want to get it twisted. Like, my wife is more important to me than any of them.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, dude, that's my loyalty right
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
You tell me anything, she's gonna know about
Yep.
it. Period.
Just assume that.
Yeah.
And then if you're okay with that, then we're good.
Yeah.
That's not. If you're okay with that, we're good.
Pretty much.
Because I hate when people think that you're going to be okay with their lives. Look, man, maybe as a teenager I was, but I've already learned my lessons.
Yeah, I'm grown now.
So
man.
if you're going to go out there and you're going to do something wrong on your woman, if you're going to cheat on your woman, if you're going to go do something really horrible to somebody, don't involve me.
Yeah, I don't want to know about it.
I don't want to know
Because I won't lie for you.
I don't want to.
I won't.
And the problem is, what if I do? Now it changes who I am today, and I don't want to be changed.
Well, I won't lie.
You know what I'm saying?
If it comes to like my situation, I'm not gonna lie, man.
Right.
I might not go out of my way,
Right.
but I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And that comes with snitching too. I'm sorry, I'm a snitch, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real silent. I'm gonna be real silent. I'm just gonna, but I'm in my head. I'm hoping don't ask me a direct question.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie for you.
No.
And if it comes down to other stuff, like don't involve me in illegal activity right now.
Oh, God.
Because I'm a snitch.
Oh God, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not 16 anymore. Where I'm like, no man, bros. Nah, dude. I'm a grown man with kids and
I
everything else.
got kids I got to be out for.
If I'm sitting in a police station and they're questioning me, talking about I'm gonna go do time, I'm singing on everybody. I'm not doing time, bro. I want that known. I want everybody who knows me.
Let me pause Trinity for a second, everybody. Let me pause Dharma Guy. No, you don't. No, you're not. You got Dharma. You got Matthew's bark. You got my brother. You just stay quiet. No, Trinity.
I'll stay quiet.
No.
Until that happens.
Yeah,
but
just stay quiet until my brother or Matthew's bark says you have to say something.
But if it comes down
can
to
we
it,
make that an agreement? I just got to make sure we can make that an agreement right now. Is it okay for you to wait?
I'm smart enough to. I was union for 11 years, dude. So I'm smart enough to know. Shut your mouth.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Shut up until you have to talk.
I just want to make sure.
Having said that, when it comes time to where I have to talk, if it's me or them, it's going to be them.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry, it's them.
I get it. I understand.
Because at the end of the day, bro, you did something dumb, hey, that's on you, bro. Like, sorry, I didn't do it.
I grew up in a family where that stuff's not going to happen. It's so weird. I literally could chop you up in little pieces, bury you in the backyard. My mom and dad ain't going to say a damn thing. You're done, bro.
Right?
You're good.
Yeah, man.
And my brother will defend me as an attorney.
Exactly.
So listen. I had to learn about lies very differently because I was taught it was all about self-service or the family. So and I'm not saying anything negative to you. I love my family. I love the way I was raised. But I allowed Dana to kind of explain lies and truth and stuff like that to the kids. Not me, because I had to
defer to her.
I defer to her.
There you go.
Because somehow, whenever we get in that conversation, I try to explain. Dana just looks at me and goes, "Really? That's what you're going to say?"
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I have one daughter that always rats on the other. The oldest always rats on the youngest. The youngest one never rats on the oldest.
Yeah, I
ever.
have that too.
It's just not in her nature. She's very Delgado. But the oldest one is very, I'm not lying for you. Or, I don't like what you're doing, and this is how I'm going to stop it.
Ooh, wow.
And I'm like, so Dana and I differ. I don't think she should do that, but yet I love the information, so I'm kind of twisted.
I'm twisted too in my house. I have this like I always get on the one like stop narking on everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I'm glad they did. So
I like the info.
I can interfere with it.
Doesn't that suck?
But my oldest one is sneaky, dude. My 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So my two little ones, they'll outright, Daddy, Destiny's doing this. They'll come right to me and tell me. The 14-year-old though. She'll say something to one of them loud enough for me to hear.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't do that because such and such. Loud enough for me to hear it, so I
yeah.
have to come in now and be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So you sneaky little. I know what you're doing.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
Then you got to call it out as a manipulation. You got to call it out as what it is, so that they can develop the skill.
Yeah, I say to them, I know what you're doing.
You got to further develop that skill because right now it's a little bit too obvious.
Yeah, you're not good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you're doing. And you need to stop.
I love that.
But thank you, though. Hey, y'all two get off that.
Right. I always explain it as a skill, and I just let them know this is where that skill leads. You better get better at it.
Exactly.
Because this is going to get you punched in the face.
Exactly. You're going to be beat up at school for this if you don't get better at it.
Yeah. This is how you're going to end up buried in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that one.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't do that one.
But
What about lying about your intent? I think that's kind of important as well.
To myself or to somebody else?
No, because I do not like when others lie about their intent. When it's obvious, like we were just talking about, like people manipulate. Like if you went to her and says, "I know what you were trying to do."
Oh, no, I wasn't. What are you talking about?
That lying about your intent.
Yeah, that bothers me.
Bothers me a lot.
When you get called on it, man.
Because if I call you on it, and you're going to be that diehard that says, "I'm just going to keep the lie going all the way through." Here's what I prefer.
I lose a little respect for that.
Yeah, here's what I prefer. Because I'm not a cop. And I'm not a judge. And those are the only two that trust me. I understand.
Right.
For some reason, it's just raised. It's the way I was raised.
Right. But kids see us as the cop and the judge.
However, yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
However, what I want you to, when I look at it, my youngest does it. My youngest will cop to it. If I look at her and I say, "What happened?" she'll always eventually just tell me. But she does it real early on because she knows I'm not leaving. I know your intent. This is your intent. So she doesn't lie about her intent. She may at first.
My 14-year-old will do that.
But my oldest, she goes down with the ship.
Wow.
It's like
that's some stick-to-itiveness right there,
it's like,
man.
I know your intent, and she denies the intent. Or even Dana will deny intent. And it's like, if I just knew, I know why you're asking who was there.
Right.
No, I just want to know. No.
Why do you want to know?
Your intent is you're feeling insecure somehow, and I want to rectify the situation.
See, I wonder how,
baby, I want you to feel secure that I can be around females and it not be an issue.
Well, my question to that,
you know what I mean? That intent stuff.
Sure. My question to that, though, is do you think, not in your specific circumstance,
right.
but do you think people who do that, do you think they're consciously lying about it, or do you think they're, because I tend to believe that they're so out of touch with themselves that they don't even know sometimes.
You're trying to give a little credit. I see. Yeah. I think sometimes, yes.
I think there's a lot of people I know that are so
out
of touch with themselves that they don't even know what their intent is sometimes. Like they think they do, but they don't realize why they're doing it.
I think that's person to person. I'd like to believe somebody that I'm in love with or somebody with my genetics, if discussed, knows damn well what I'm talking about and can utilize that level of insight.
Yep.
Because I put the damn DNA in there, so I know that you got the level of insight.
Well, my 14-year-old will do that, though. My 14-year-old has done things. Oh gosh, I can't even remember now. There's instances where it's happened, and I'm like,
we've all done it, man.
I'll let it play out, but then I'll pull it to the side, and be like, come on now, you know exactly what you're doing. And that's how I always start it. And at first, she's like, "What are you talking about?" No, I don't.
Yeah.
But now I've got a relationship with her. I just look at her like, "Come on now." She's like, "I know."
Right.
She's like, "I see right through that."
Right.
Like, come on.
But I
can read
stupid.
you like a book.
But I've done it. I've gone down with the ship. I do have the ability to go down with the ship. I'm telling you, that was my MO as a kid, so I can go down with the ship. So I am not going to tell you what my intent was if I don't want to. Right. But knowing that is what bothers me when someone else does it, because I know they're going down with the ship, and it's like, I want you to know this is okay.
Right.
Teaching moment or bonding moment.
I don't know if I've ever gone down with a ship or not. I don't know.
I have, man.
My mom would have to answer that one. I don't know if I remember.
No.
Maybe I was just so good at it I forgot.
Yeah.
Right? I don't
You
know.
believed it. No, maybe you believed it. It turns into, that's exactly what happened.
No, I'll be honest with you. I learned that early on, man. It was you lie yourself enough, you'll believe it.
Yeah, because when you're not an only kid, you can leave doubt. Like who broke it?
Oh, dude, I mean,
Did you see that the dog did crap on the carpet and you just like left it there all day? I never saw it.
No, I
saw it.
I've absolutely lied about
I
stuff.
saw it and I
like
smelt it and I kept walking and I left the house real quick so I didn't have to be the one to pick it up.
Yeah, right.
I've done that.
Yeah. Oh, that happens all the time in my house now.
I will walk right by it.
Yeah. But I think one of the so when it comes to lying, I think we got to just ask ourselves those questions, man. What is the lie? What are we doing here? Why are we doing it?
Right.
Is it going to hurt this other person?
Yeah.
I think it's a very complex situation, which is why there's probably a million opinions on it.
Tons.
And I do believe though that the opinion you have changes or differs depending on what side of it you're on.
Right.
If you're the one doing it, you're always going to be okay with it. That's why you're doing it. You've already figured out some sort of a justification, and you put it out there.
Yep.
Now, if you're on the receiving end, that's where I think the maturity comes into play. Because I've been lied to before, and I've not got angry. Like, I understood it. But I've also been lied to where I got really irritated.
Right.
Like, there's been times where, like, one of my kids will lie to me about something. In my house, like, you can go right now and ask any of my kids, what's Daddy's number one rule? They'll all tell you, don't lie. Yeah. That is my biggest thing. Because my philosophy when it comes to lying in my house is don't ever lie. Yeah. No matter what it is, we'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a consequence attached to it, but that consequence is always going to be worse if you lie to me. Because I want to build that relationship with them where they can come to me about everything.
Because they disconnect. Lies will disconnect you from another human being.
Absolutely. So don't lie to me. Just come to me. Get it out there. We'll figure it out. We'll come up with some sort of a consequence. We'll have a teaching moment, but we'll get past it. If you start lying to me, that's going to change our entire dynamic, and I don't want to go that route.
Right.
But there has been times, though, when like the kids have lied to me, and I know it's a lie, and I don't get really, really angry. I address it, and we move on, get past it, because I got it. Like, I understood where they were coming from, and I don't want to, like, crush their little spirit kind of a thing.
Right.
And so, but I think that takes a certain level of maturity, though, for to be lied to and to not feel devastated,
Good.
Because I think that there's some people out there that no matter what the lie is, they feel devastated.
Yeah,
it's you gotta put yourself in other person's shoes and understand where they're coming from.
I completely agree. You have to assess it.
Yeah,
there's no constant. There's no just one way.
No, of course not, because not every lie is about you.
Yeah, you can't say a lie is a lie is a lie is a lie.
Yeah,
that's not true. That's not
not
true
every lie is about you. Sometimes they're dealing with their own stuff. Sometimes they have their own history, their own background, and in their mind they perceived it a certain way and they lied to you.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they hate you. Doesn't mean they don't respect you. Just means that that's where they are at in their path at the moment.
Right.
And you're going to have to kind of meet them where they're at and help them a little bit.
Right.
And the best way to do that sometimes, like, a perfect example with my kids. If I don't want them to lie to me about stuff, I can't blow up every time they come to me with something wrong.
Right.
Because then they're going to learn to lie to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if I remain relaxed, calm, and we deal with it, then they're going to not fear that repercussion anymore.
For sure.
And the same thing with lying, man. If you don't want somebody to lie to you, if they lie to you, then you just kind of I don't mean enable them. I don't mean to completely let it go and they think, oh, I can lie. Whatever. No, I mean, you address it, you fix it, but you don't make it such a big deal. Like, oh, I'm so hurt, and hold it over the head for months and months and months.
Oh, never.
Then all you're going to do at that point is they're going to get better at lying to you. That's what's going to happen, right? And so I think it's important to, on both ends, from the liar's perspective, you got to understand that you're potentially hurting people when you're lying,
right?
And you got to appreciate that. Like, if you're going to do it, then just understand they can find out and they can hurt, and that's on you. But on the receiving end of it, you got to understand that just because they lie doesn't mean they'd hate you or disrespect you. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about them. It's always about them. It's selfish reasons. Be it they didn't want to hurt your feelings because they didn't want to feel that level of anxiety of I'm hurting somebody. Be it they don't want to get in trouble about something. Whatever it is, it's about them. It's not about you. And that's the problem is we have a tendency of personalizing everything. It's not about you. If somebody's doing something to you, it says more about them than it does you.
Right.
And that's a hard thing, I think, for us to do. As humans, we're built to take everything personally. We take birth in the moment, and I think that we got to kind of be careful with that, especially when it comes to lying.
Yeah, we do take everything personal, yeah.
We all do it, man.
And I think bottom line, that's an important thing. It's just when you're in your feels and you're really frustrated at somebody for lying to you, first and foremost, just understand that you've been that person. You've been that person.
Yeah.
Maybe you might be telling yourself, yeah, but I wouldn't lie about that. Well, whatever. We all have our rules of when and where.
Exactly.
But you've been the person.
Absolutely, man. And I think, like you said, it's not a lie's a lie's a lie. It's not always that, man.
Nah.
Some lies are different. Not all lies are created equal.
Right.
And I can't tell you, if you're listening to this, I can't tell you how to define that. That's up to you and how you perceive things, But I can tell you they're not all created equal.
That's right. And we all can look at the exact same picture and point out different things. Psychology has already proven that. We have so much research has already proven that both of you can look at the exact same constant, something very constant,
Yep.
a picture, and yet all see something different within that picture.
Oh, yeah.
So knowing truth, and that's truth. So like Trinity said earlier, that you can't tell me what my truth is because psychology has already proven, science has already proven that we have different truths even on the same exact picture.
Oh, yeah. The first thing
And experience.
When you were saying all that, the first thing that popped in my head was Picasso. I think that stuff is so ugly.
And Dolly?
No, Dolly's kind of cool.
I love Dolly.
I like Dolly.
Yeah.
But I look at Picasso with the ears on the forehead and stuff. That looks so dumb to me.
Just different drugs.
But there's people who love it, and I'm like, I guess, dude. I look at that, I see stupid. I wouldn't pay $1 for that.
Let me tell you something. Whenever I see like a big bronze ball in the middle of a downtown, and I know that they paid thousands of dollars to have that big bronze ball, and it was called art, I think that artist is just laughing at everybody and saying,
yeah.
I think he's in a room with his girlfriend. I think he's smoking pot with his girl, and he goes, I could literally just make it just a big ball, and they pay me for it.
There's
Call it art.
Well, there's a show, I can't remember what it was. It was like a sketch comedy, and they did that. Like the artist, whatever, to make fun of everybody, he put on his canvas, he just put a red circle. And that's it.
And it's sold.
And
then Japan took it over and made it into a flag.
Yeah. They had people coming in and out of the gallery, like, talking about how they felt. Oh, it makes me feel like
It's ridiculous.
And at the end of the skit, the guy's like, no, it's just a red circle.
Exactly.
But all these, like, art snobs were like,
Yep.
they put all these feelings and interpretation and everything else. Like, no,
That's why I can't do it.
It's a red circle.
I mean, actually, the best art is the art that's not the best, right? It's that art that, like, actually looks like a real painting, like a real picture.
Right.
But, people praise art that doesn't even look like real people.
Well,
They look funny.
It's funny that you mention all this because
You just did art?
We just did art.
I liked yours, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought mine.
I think you did fantastic.
Dude, when I sit next to her,
And I'm not lying to you. I actually liked it.
when I sit next to her, dude, like I always feel
You compare
so.
it?
Oh my god, dude! Our last one we did was the tree thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all hanging up in our hallway right now.
I like your
It's
tree,
pretty
too.
cool.
I like your tree, too. You actually do very well.
But dude, like I feel so horrible when I'm sitting next to her because she just. Did you see that one I just posted with the angel thing?
Yeah.
She did that like a whim. She just picked. Man, God bless her, dude. She's got amazing
She's
artistic, views, I guess. But I do not. I do my best, but I never would compare when I'm sitting next to her and she's just going off, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I literally had a moment of like total insecurity.
Third grade professional.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like a third grader.
I had a total moment of like insecurity on date night on Friday.
That's funny.
There was a moment there when I got down to the pagoda thing.
Yeah. That was your hardest part, right?
When I got to the pagoda, the lady was saying stuff I didn't understand. She was like, "Okay, now you have this embellish it." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Lie to it.
Yeah, like I know what embellishment means verbally. Like I'm a talker, but what the hell does embellishment mean while you're painting?
Pretty pagoda.
Yeah,
you're such a pretty pagoda.
And what she said, embellish it, and everybody in the thing was just going to town.
Oh, they knew what it meant.
And I'm like, I don't know. What do you mean by embellish?
What does that mean? What does it mean?
I think it means just dress it up, like put stuff on it.
Oh, okay.
But I still don't know what that even means. It's like whatever, dude. Anyways,
all right, we're done.
I digress. We got to do our wrap ups now. So let me let's do the three things first, and then I'll do the sponsors. All right, man. So
well, do the sponsors.
Oh, what happened?
No, do the sponsors first. I think you should do the sponsors first because we take the clip.
All right, we'll do the sponsors then.
All right.
Thank you, sponsors. So our sponsors, we got Retreat Prepare Addiction Treatment Centers, which the Couch Live was just down there. Well, I say the Couch Live, it's half of it. Was down to do one of their events. They're a fantastic supporter of the show. Been there since day one. We got Journey Pier, another fantastic supporter. Been there since day one as well. Both quality treatment facilities. We have the Orange County Drug Free Coalition, which we just had our recovery walk in Lake Eola with them. A great establishment. Do so much for the county. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the Now Matters More Foundation. He is the founder. I am the president. That is nowmattersmore.org. We help people get through the treatment process, if you will. If you want to know more about us or to donate, nowmattersmore.org. Or if you're somebody you know has an issue with addiction and you're trying to get some help, 1-833-NOW-MATTERS. That's 833-NOW-MATTERS. There you go. So let's go ahead and do our three things. So you've been listening to the show. It started out thanks to Julian Black from Up Live talking about lying. Is it okay to lie in a relationship? We, of course, embellished that a little bit and went in a multitude of different directions. But to give you kind of some plans of action, if you will, when it comes to lying, the first thing you got to do is you got to ask yourself, is it okay to lie? And sometimes it might be, and sometimes it might not be. Only you know your situation. But when you're kind of deciphering that, you have to ask yourself, am I going to hurt this person's feeling? Or can I live with this lie if it does come out? Like, is it going to be devastating? And that's going to help you decide if it's okay or if it's not okay. The second one is, using Buddhism terms, right speech. You got to understand when you're communicating to somebody, it's got to be both truthful and useful. And understanding that truth sometimes is going to vary from person to person. And usefulness, is it kind? Is it going to do something good? Is it going to do something bad? And then lastly, right intention. Meaning, what is your intent? Are you lying because you're trying to save somebody's feelings? Are you lying because you're trying to get yourself out of trouble? Or are you just simply lying because you're trying to make the day go by easier? I'm not going to tell you which one's right or wrong. That's something you have to decide for yourself. But those are some considerations to make next time you are considering lying. And remember, lying is telling non-factual stuff or omission. They both count. And now that you know better, do better. Peace.
I think he plans it all out. Just makes it up as he goes along.
Human knowledge belongs to the world.